Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. While,
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
thank you. While people were talking among themselves about the wonderful voluntary death of Sati, the attendants who had come with her readied themselves to kill Daksha with their weapons. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The attendants who came with Sati were meant to protect her from calamities. But since they were unable to protect their master's wife, they decided to die for her. And before dying, they wanted to kill Daksha. It is the duty of attendants to give protection to their master. And in case of failure, it is their duty to die. So they decided to die. Text 32. Tesham aptatam aptatam vegam nishamya bhagavan dhrugu yagnagna ghanena yajusa dakshinang juhavaha. Tesham, of them, aptatam, who were approaching, vegam, the impulse, nishamya, after seeing Bhagavan, the possessor of all opulences, Bhrigu Muni, Yajna Gnena, for killing the destroyers of the Yajna. Yajusa, with hymns of the Yajur Veda. Dakshinagno, the southern side of the sacrificial fire. Juhava, offered oblations. Ha, certainly. Translation of Prabhupada ki jai. They came forward forcibly, but Bhrigu Muni saw the danger and offering oblations into the southern side of the sacrificial fire, immediately uttered mantric hymns from the Yajur Veda by which the destroyers of yajnik performance could be killed immediately. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Here is one example of powerful hymns in the Vedas which, when chanted, could perform wonderful acts. In the present age of Kali, it is recommended in the Vedas, are forbidden in this age. The only sacrifice recommended in this age is the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, because in this age, it is not possible to accumulate the needed funds for performing sacrifices, not to speak of finding expert brahmanas who can chant the mantras perfectly. 33. Advaryuna huyamanihi dev utpetur ojasa bhavo nama tapasa somam prapta sahasrayaha sahasrusaha. Advaryuna, by the priests. Bhrigu, Huyamane, oblations being offered. Thank you, Yashoda Jairam Mataji. Devaha, demigods. Utpetuhu, became manifested. Ojasa, with great strengths. Rishabha, the rebus. Nama, named. Tapasa, by penance. Somam, Soma. Praptaha, having achieved. Sahasraishaha, by the thousands. Translation and purport by Prajai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When Bhrigu Muni offered oblations, Sarvaloka Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu. When Bhrigu Muni offered oblations in the fire, immediately many thousands of demigods named Ribhus became manifested. All of them were powerful, having achieved strength from Soma, the moon. Purport by Prajai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. It is stated here that many thousands of demigods named Ribhus became manifested because the oblations offered in the fire and the chanting of the hymns from the Yajurveda. Brahmanas like Bhrigu Muni were so powerful. Debanjali joint. Good. Brahmanas like Bhrigu Muni were so powerful that they could create such powerful demigods simply by chanting the Vedic mantras. Vedic mantras are still available, but the chanters are not. The chanting Vedic mantras or chanting the Gayatri or Rig mantra, one can attain the results one desires. In the present age of Kali, it is recommended by Lord Chaitanya that simply by chanting Hare Krishna, one can attain all perfection. Last verse of the chapter 34. Alatyudaihi sarve pramathaha sagunak guhyakaha anyamana disho bejur usadbhir brahmate jasa. Taihi, by them, alat ayudaihi, with weapons of firebrands, survey all, pramattaha, the ghosts, saha gushyakaha, along with the gushyakas, hanyamanaha, being attacked, dishaha, in different directions, bejuhu, fled, usadbihi, glowing, Brahma Tejasa, by Brahmanical power. Translation Prajai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When the Ribhu demigods attacked the ghosts and the Guhyakas with half burned fuel from the Yajna fire, all these attendants of Sati fled in different directions. Suprabha Mataji, Hare Krishna. Sati fled in different directions and disappeared. This was possible simply because of Brahma Tejas, Brahmanical power. Hare Krishna. Purport by Prajai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The word Brahma Tejas, Tejasa, used in this verse is significant. In those days, Brahmanas were so powerful that simply by desiring and by chanting a Vedic mantra, they could accomplish very wonderful effects. But in the present age of degradation, there are no such Brahmanas. According to the Pancharatrika system, in this age, the entire population is supposed to consist of only Shudras because the Brahmanical culture has been lost. But if anyone displays the sign of understanding Krishna consciousness, he should be accepted according to Vaishnava Smriti regulations as a prospective Brahmana and should be given all facilities to achieve the highest perfection. The most magnanimous gift of Lord Chaitanya is that the highest perfection of life is available in this fallen age if one simply adopts the process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, which is able to bring about the fulfillment of all activities in self-realization. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 4th canto, 4th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Sati Quits Her Body. So, we'll summarize the whole thing. I'll just read the invocation mantra. Umagyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalake Chakshur Unmilitam Yen Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Tapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Brabhadahamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavamsya Sri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sagan Raghunathan Mitam Tamsa Jivam Sadhritam Sabadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namosite Taptakan Chana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshri Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Namo Mishnupataka Chipita Bhatule Simite Bhakti Vedanta Swamtana Namaste Statsi Deve Gauravanim Chane Nirvicheshuna Paschadhyastane Vancha Kalpatribhascha Kripas Dev Chapatana Bhakti Bhagavan Tukudiveshna Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Guru Maharaj Ki Jai Nimai Balai Kanai Gora Ki Jai Namo Mishnupataka Chipita Bhatsimiti Japtaka Chare Badana Takubatan Gora Padatan Nagar Gamtani Mukam Karodi Vachalam Pangum Langete Grip Ekpanam the Shigrum Dentanam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Meshwaram. Today I'll just summarize the whole thing. Then I want to really discuss very important aspect which is often left out. Why do people fight? Where is the problem? Why the mind control is not happening? And what is the repercussion on different modes in Rajogun, Tamagun and Sattvagun? So that is a very valid point. I got it from Prabhupada's. For today, the summarization of 4th canto, one line summarization. Chapter 1 of the 4th canto states about Maitreya describes the dynasty of Swayambhuva Manu in which Lord appeared as Nara Narayana Rishi. Narayana was Krishna and Nara was Arjuna. And then the 2nd chapter, the summarization is Daksha offends Lord Shiva, considering him merely his son-in-law. He was so much meditated, but he didn't understand. He thought he didn't get up. Chapter 3, the summarization is Sati begs her husband, Lord Shiva, to let her attend her father's sacrifice. Lord Shiva denied, but she went. Chapter 4, now what we are reading. Neglected by her father, Sati immolates her body in a fire of yoga meditation. Self-fire created. In chapter 5, we are going to read, angered by his father's death, Shiva created the fearful demon, Veerabhadra. Angered by his wife's death, Shiva created the fearful demon, Veerabhadra, who destroys the sacrifice and beheads Daksha. And Daksha gets a goat head. Chapter 6 is telling, led by Lord Brahma, the demigods pray to Lord Shiva to allow the sacrifice to be successfully completed. Chapter 7, Daksha, who now has the head of a goat, pacifies Lord Shiva. He goes and falls at the feet of Lord Shiva and finishes the sacrifice. Then Lord Vishnu appears in sacrificial arena. And then chapter 8 will not do. This is young about Dhruva. So this is a summarization of each chapter. Now, verse-wise, today we are doing from 31 to 34. So we'll just look back what has happened between 24 to 27. 24 is Sati's mystic yoga. Speaking thus, Sati sat down facing north, dressed in saffron garments. She performed Achamana and absorbed herself in the process of mystic yoga. Text 25, Sat Chakra Yoga. She performed the Sat Chakra Yoga and raised her light air from navel, then to heart, then to throat, then to the center of her eyebrows. She brought there. The prana will come out only from that. That's all Kapala. 26. Meditating on fire, desiring to give up her worshipable body due to anger towards her father, she began meditating on the fiery air within the body. 27, Sati quits body. Meditating on the holy name, holy lotus feet of her husband, Lord Shiva, who is Jagat Guru, Sati became completely cleansed of all contaminations, her identity as daughter of Daksha, and quit her body in a blazing fire by meditation on the fiery elements. Now, 28 and 30, a great cry arises from the sky. 28, it's telling, roar in the universe. Seeing Sati's departure, there was a tumultuous roar all over the universe. Why had Sati, dear to Lord Shiva, quits her body in such a manner? Text 29, Daksha's neglect. It was astonishing that Daksha, who was Prajapati, who was disrespectful to his chaste and honorable daughter, that she gave up her body. After she left her body, also she's keeping quiet. Text 30. Hard-hearted Daksha is unworthy to be a Brahmana, and he will gain great infamy for not stopping his daughter's death because of hating Lord Shiva. Now 31 to 34, in short, Ribus drive away Lord Shiva's attendants. 31 is telling today's verse, Shiva's followers attacked. While people were thus talking, Lord Shiva's attendants prepared to kill Daksha. The text 32, Bhrigu oblations. Seeing them swiftly approaching, Bhrigu Muni offered oblations into the southern fire with hymns from the Yajurveda to kill those who destroy sacrifices. Now the 33 Ribus appear. As a result of those oblations, many thousands of powerful demigods called Ribus manifested, who achieved strength from Soma, moon. Last verse 34, Shiva's followers fled. Attacked by the Ribus, the followers of Shiva fled in all directions. This was possible simply because of Brahma Tejas. Now, the 4th chapter, 5th verse we will not do now. Frustration of the sacrifice of Daksha. So this will take up later. Now, I will tell you the points which are very important for us to discuss in Kali Yuga, especially so much fights are going on around. When Sati Mata gave up the life, so all the followers of Shiva, they got very annoyed and they went to attack Daksha Prajapati. Bhrigu, being his brother, wanted to protect the sacrificial arena and he wanted to defend. So his actions makes the situation worse. Since Lord Shiva was meditating and Daksha taught that he is not respecting, he is my son-in-law, he never knew what is his son-in-law. His son-in-law is a Vaishnavana Etasambha, and he was meditating on Lord Shankarchana. So when you are meditating on Sankarchana, Vasudeva, the Paramatma, all are respected. But since he was on bodily platform, Daksha just said that my son-in-law is not respecting me. And Shiva was not bothered. He was totally meditating. So Lord Shiva from hair created the Veerabhadra and chops off his head of Daksha. So we must address the problem. When some problem comes, we shout. That should not be the approach. At least we are trying to become Vaishnavas. So there are 3 levels. One is when we are the Rajo, the Tam, and the Sattugun, and there is a debate or fight comes. We discuss and find out from the scriptures what will justify, and whoever is wrong, they should accept what is wrong. And whoever is right, they should not be proud. They should just try to resolve. That is a Vaishnava life. So we must not aggravate the problem, but we must address the problem. But currently we are aggravating. Srila Prabhupada said that the snowball coming down the hill and it will hurt the feeling. So before it comes down, it should stop. It should not make the fight go on. So if you are hurt feeling, then what happens? Like Daksha, if you hurt, if hurt the feeling, then Daksha, why I married, first problem, why I married my daughter to Shiva. That's what is first reflection. From there, the whole thing started. Ego, false ego. Daksha did not invite Shiva and Sati. He didn't make any oblations. Sati went to her father and Daksha neglected her. Now, she wanted to attack Daksha and she gave her the body. She said, I don't want to keep this body which is born out of my father. He has disrespected my husband, who is a great Vaishnava. So when she left the body, then everybody wanted to attack Daksha, the Shiva's followers. Bhrigu Muni started the fight. He made the rebus. So like the weapon snowball became a big and changed Shiva's followers. Shiva's again created Veerabhadra and attacked Daksha and chopped off his head. Now with the hurt feeling to be addressed, not aggravated. When we have some hurt feeling, we should only address and try to resolve and not just give bad words and aggravate, and otherwise big war starts. Israel and Russia war. A lower mode gains controls. When you are in Rajogun, Tamagun, that will become proudness will come. When we are in passion and ignorance, it drags us down. Our consciousness goes down. We see from Krishna angle. Then misuse of free will. What is the misuse of free will? It depends upon how much we want to cheat. We are cheating ourselves. So how much I use depends upon how much I want to fall. Now, example, suppose somebody is taking alcohol. He will not think how when I should stop drinking. He will only think, Seema Gupta Mataji, Hare Krishna, Swagato.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So you're disciplined every day you come. I really like your
No,
attitude.
Prabhuji, today I am late. I had some work for my child, so I have to go.
Then I will send you the recording.
Yes, Prabhuji,
But
please.
we are discussing some very important points. When we are in lower mode and we start arguing, then the lower mode gains control on the Shuddha, that Sattva-guna, it will go off. And when passion and ignorance comes, it drags our consciousness down. The misuse of free will means how much I will use. Example, suppose somebody is saying alcohol. He will not think how to leave alcohol. He will think whether to drink wine or whiskey. Whiskey is more powerful. Wine, they say it's a grape juice. So once you start action, further movement, stopping is very difficult. Once you take one peg, finish. You'll finish the bottle. That's why it should be stopped when you are thought. When the desire comes, to stop it. The desire is allowed to activate, and misuse of free will happen. So 3 points we have to discuss. Technologically, we are very advanced now. See, the children can get spoiled by watching video, WhatsApp. Everything is inside. Google is there. So 3-point action is technological side we have to see. Then mentality, we should be in Sattvagun. Third one, spirituality. I'll just tell the call and say I'll attend later. Hare Krishna, I'm in a class, but I'll call you after 10 o'clock. Hare Krishna. So, technology level, like the parents, they take care of the kids. They don't make them to use all those things and see the nasty things. Sometimes the children can see the pornography also. So first the technology wise, how we have to stop, how we have to cover to see that they don't get spoiled. But still, even if you don't do, they'll go in the friends one and watch. The whole thing is totally damaged. Next one is mentality. Our mentality should be that we are not born to fight for everybody. We are children of the same God. Everybody is your brothers and sisters. So our mentality should not be that I should win. Whatever I speak, it's final. Everybody thinks they are correct. That's why the Shastra is important. Guru Sadhu Shastra. And finally, we have to come to the spiritual level. That's how we have to conclude. So we are forced to act as we choose to desire. We have got desires to fulfill. So we are forced to act. We want to drink. We want this, that, bad things. So material nature sees the desire. The super soul also is watching what's your desire. See, Krishna is a free person. He will not force. If you don't want, you're doing wrong things. He will give you Guru Sadhu Shastra to stop. But still, if you do, he cannot help because he is not a forcible father. That's why if you go to Radharani, she will try to control. Sees our desire and then our action starts one by one. See, once our desire starts, sometimes Arjuna is asking Lord Krishna that why sometimes we are doing wrong, but still the mind is instigating it to do and continue and do the wrong thing. When we desire something for sense gratification, without Krishna in the center, then we start using our reasoning. We start using our senses, resources. That is, whatever we want to enjoy, we'll use it. The main resource is senses. So once we act on our desire, then it becomes bad to worse, and we get stuck up. See, anything without Krishna in the center, that desire is going to take us down consciousness-wise. So we should always remember Jiver Swarup point, Krishner Nityadas. The aggravation becomes worse and worse as we get desires depending on our past karma, prarabdha karma. We misuse the free will and start using our resources, the senses, for our sense gratification, for our enjoyment, which is very temporary. And we have to face so much of consequences. By that, we get impelled to move on and particular direction in the particular place. It will push us. So to conclude, free will means how much free will we have to use. Conclusion, 3 points. There are 10 stops of impulsiveness. Action to aggravate the situation, it's bad. Reaction pop up within us because there are technology, mentality and spirituality. So if you are in goodness, when something goes wrong, we just reason to make corrective actions and to stop aggravation of the problem without any argument and physical fight. That is if you are in the mode of goodness. That the voice of Krishna will control when you are in the mode of goodness. And suppose there is some external change is never enough for our internal change, external change. Inside we may be having very bad thoughts. So external, if you wear tilaka, that doesn't mean that you are changed. So with the external changes, you cannot become good. Internally it should happen. So external change is never sufficient because it is almost always essential for internal change. The mind, the subtle mind is the biggest problem creator. So the intelligence should be sharpened by giving proper scriptural advice, Krishna Katha, Bhagavatam, senior Vaishnavas. When you listen, you will understand what is the real success point. So somebody is staying near a bar, okay? Then drinks can never be stopped because whenever he's feeling, he'll go and drink. If we shift the house, then also he has got a chance to drink, but it is not so much. If the next door is in Chennai, everywhere is so much of drinking shops. But impulses in the is momentary and it does not stay for a long time. See, if you can control for some time, then you won't drink. It will not stay for 1 hour and all. 10 minutes, you would have a pet, you just go and drink. So we should make it wait. So if we can be tolerant while the impulses comes and control and does not take impulsive actions, then we can slowly get away from the desire completely. Anukulyasya sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjanam. It is not helping our spiritual life. So we should not allow the impulse to carry us away. So we have to change our company. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Satvika, Lava Mata Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoi. If you get devotee association, then Siddhi will happen, everything will happen. But Asat Sangha Tyaga. So impulses are like insurgents or criminals or terrorists. Like in the Kashmir, the terrorist comes to a place and they play havoc and destroy and go back. Sometimes they come and they see our army is there. They will take our guns and shoot us. Our impulses of mind and senses are also like that only. It's like terrorists only. Through our consciousness, through our conscious mind, with a prayerful mood to Sri Guru and Gauranga, Radha Krishna, we should cry and we should request to control and stop doing that impulsive desire into a wrong action to add up sins in our life and brings down our consciousness drastically. So we must discuss and make them understand that if you do wrong things and all, it will really bring our consciousness in a very bad way. So like the terrorists in the Kashmir border comes to our Indian army, snatches our weapons and creates a havoc and bombs and goes away. Then big damage happens to us and greatest destruction. So we are all vulnerable to our impulses. We are vulnerable, it affects us. So when impulses comes and attacks by way of wrong and selfish desires for sense gratification, attacks our mind, senses, what resources we have externally, that much damages will happen accordingly. Suppose some religious people only come and attacks us. So whatever we have, the capital, that money may be lost. So we should be very careful in handling money. So we should not encourage to fulfill our impulses when it comes all of a sudden. So impulses may come and go, but we should keep it secret. The people will take advantage of that. So like for an alcoholic, we must not keep drinks in our house. And there should be also no bars near his house. Then we will be able to take to the Krishna consciousness. Otherwise we will suffer. A person with short temper should not keep dangerous weapons with him. What will happen if he's short-tempered person? He'll take out and then kill. He will not see the consequence. So we have to create barriers between us and keeping with us external resources which will create more damages. So we should not keep the resources with us. We should not have, somebody is an alcoholic, he should not keep drinks at home. He should not have the house near the where there's a drinking parlor. Because these resources will create more danger, damage to us and our consciousness, and will fall down in our spiritual path. So if someone has a tendency to abuse the internet, to watch pornographies, then we must have barriers to use. The parents have strict rules, parental controls to use computers, internet and TV where the children study for exams. Children should be protected, though not full professional systems. They should be allowed to use, but not for bad things. The impulses comes and goes away. So we must know how to be tolerant so that no disaster and damages happen. So the resolution is to stop damages of being angry. And when we get anger, we should not open our mouth. When someone got angry, they should stop talking and not to misuse bad words, because this will increase the fight. That's what happened in Daksha. I am not going to be open out. I'm not going to open our mouth when I'm angry. This is the best resolution. As at the internal level, our mind is driven by the impulses. Like if the alcoholic reads about the evils of drinking, so what he will do? He will not read and stop drinking. He will stop reading. The mind will say, don't read now. The alcoholic mind will not allow to stop drinking, but impulses will force the mind to stop reading further about the evils of drinking. This is what the mind will. So the impulse will allow us to do something which forces us to stop the impulses. So it'll somehow stop or remove the person who is stopping the impulses. And the impulses loses the control of things. And once the control is there, then the impulses will not force us. So the impulses want to win at any cost because of the false ego, possessiveness, and selfish mentality, to fulfill bad desires due to bad association, prolonged association, and our prarabdha karma. That also is there, dog mentality. So we have to see and think of consciousness, consequences of alcohol based on bad impulses. Like children, parents stop, how you study? Children say, I have finished my studies, I want to play. Intelligence means consequences of actions on our spiritual perspective. What will happen to spiritual life after initiation if we drink? So now nourish our intelligence in the spiritual side happens is by study of scriptures, regular Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, like we are doing every night, for survival necessary, for scriptures are necessary for our survival necessity. It is an inner war going on continuously due to Maya, three modes of material nature, and prarabdha karma. These three things are really giving us trouble. So the war is not simply metaphoric. The outcome is very big and important. We have to strengthen our intelligence, follow as given in the scriptures, and beat back the impulses, beaten back, otherwise all our soul will get affected with scars. So we have to hear the scriptures. It is very important to internally fight back the impulses. At the subtle body level, the gross body, we cut off the bad actions. But the subtle body, the mind is filled with all the desires. That's why Prabhupada says, even if you die with one desire of having a rasgulla, you have to come back. So we should really pray to Radharani that please take me all the desires. It may be somewhere hidden. about some male or some female you are thinking, finish, you have to come back. The plane will go to Goloka via this Swargaloka. So you will find some Ramba, Tilottama, Urvashi. Oh, I want to be there. Then go there. Krishna will put us there. I will put us 12,000 years. You will remember. When you come back, golden age is gone. Finish. So the subtle body needs the instructions from scriptures. By reading and hearing scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, by intelligence, we can do Pratikulasa Varjanam, which is not going to remind us of Krishna. We'll stop doing it. And as the scriptures, at the scriptural level, we have to cultivate the attraction to Krishna. This is more important. Krishna Anukatha. Once you start loving Krishna, you'll just come out of all those mode of passion and ignorance. Cultivate the attraction of Krishna. That will remove the impulse to fulfill our sense gratification. See, we think we are body. We think we are separate from Krishna. We want to enjoy. But once we cultivate love for Krishna, we will know that he is the Paramatma, Vibhu Atma. We are his Amshas. And we are there, Jiva Swarupa, Krishna Nitya Dasni, eternal servants only. We don't have special identity, separate identity. By going for separate identity, we are suffering more, so much. So when attraction for Krishna increases, the lower level impulses will not just get restrained, but it will be rejected and removed, cut off from the roots. Vidyate Hridaya Granthis, first canto. So the hard knot in our heart will be cut off. And ultimately, impulse is craving for pleasure. But it is having fear that the craving for impulse will also be lost. Impulse is worried. I should always feel like enjoying with drinks, and I should never lose the taste of drinks. Foolish. So how to remove this card? When we connect with Krishna by Bhakti Yoga, by love, we get our satisfaction as well as security also from Krishna of successfully making pass the final exam of the soul. Antakale chamameva smaran muktva kalvaram. Bhagavad Gita 8, chapter 5th verse. When that study, that connection with Krishna happens, we understand Krishna is the greatest source for all our happiness, satisfaction. And Krishna is our greatest security guard, security person. And he will satisfy all our desires. So the absorption with Krishna is consciousness. Maya asakta mana partha. My mind should be for Krishna. Mind should get attached to Krishna. When any impulse comes, we will immediately remember Krishna. Then that will remove the impulse. No more agitation, no more insecurity. Only happiness for eternity and no loss. Then with the calmness, we choose wisely the healthiest response. Tesham satate yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogantam yena mamupayatite. 10th chapter, 10th verse. Krishna will give the buddhi. Once you start loving Krishna, he will change your mindset. The impulse will go. Mode of goodness, pure goodness will come. No more provocation. Externally, we can face. We'll have full support on connecting our mind with Krishna. Whatever comes will not be frustrated. So we can understand what we read today was, if you read the scriptures for surviving our mentality, this bloodshed, Brigu killed with the Ribus, and the Ribus could not do anything. That they went, Shiva's followers went and told Shiva, and Shiva came with Veerabhadra. All this happened because of impulse. Brigu thought he has to save the yajna, and Shiva got annoyed because his wife was killed. So because of not talking and clearing the things, so many things happen. So this is the Shiva sending Veerabhadra. So all these things could have been avoided if it was discussed and clarified. The Lord Shiva was totally contemplating on Vasudeva and Sankarsana. That's why he didn't get up. He was with closed eyes. He was not proud, which Daksha did not understand. He had false ego. He was proud that he was the Prajapati. And he thought his son-in-law small. He doesn't know that he's Vaishnavana Mehta Shambho. Even Brahmaji goes and falls at the feet of Shiva. And Shiva is part of Vaikuntha also as Sadashiva. He doesn't know the value. But he is doing the acting of Kailash Shiva just to support the Bahiranga Shakti, which is Mahadevi. So in one of the yugas, he is also the Supreme Lord. Krishna has agreed. So no aggravation of situation. We should always have resolution for solution. That is our most important point. Hare Krishna. I finished at 9:50, 10 minutes are there. Did you understand? You got any point? Because I wanted to get a conclusion, just not reading purport and leaving it. Hare Krishna, Sarvaloka Prabhu, Suprabha Mataji, V.S. Naran Prabhu, Meena Gupta Mataji, Sameshwar Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hare Pranam ji, Dandat Pranam.
Any questions?
No questions. No questions.
Dandavat Pranam. Wonderful class.
Dandavat Pranam. Thank you. Well, I'm just copying Prabhupada's lecture, and there was one lecture of Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, Radhanath Maharaj disciple, because he has really brought it so nicely that we have got 3 gunas, and all the fight come because we are in the Rajoguna and Tamoguna. And we think we have desire, it's ours, our bodily level, sense gratification, selfishness, we think it's my wife, my house, my car, all this. And then we get ego also. Somebody tells, if somebody fights, we'll shout and say, you are wrong. First of all, we are all children of Krishna. It is only because of some attachment we are fighting. If somebody is wrong also, you can say that, Prabhu, this is as per the scriptures, tell nicely. But we go and throw and take an instrument and kill them also. In terrorism, everything is coming because of the mind. Mind is the enemy. We have to make the mind our friend. 6th chapter, 7th verse. That how to control mind through yoga, but mainly bhakti yoga, but some breathing exercise also helps the mind to control the mind. As long as the mind is the enemy, we are facing trouble. When we are able to control mind, mind is our friend. When the mind is a friend, automatically buddhi and ahankar will go, will not get false ego, will become real ego. Prabhupada says, I am the servant of Krishna. That's why I'm going in business class in flight. They say, you are a sannyasi, why you want to go in business class? My father is the Supreme Lord Krishna. So that's why I'm going Mercedes Benz. He is not interested bodily to show up. But when somebody is envious of Krishna, they're envious of devotees also. Why so big temples and all? He said by big temples, people get attracted. They will come. They say you can do some poor feeding why you are using. So people are all envious, nothing else.
Actually,
any questions you want to ask? Huh?
People don't want to control mind also. That is the problem. If people want
They
to
don't
control,
know. First of all, they don't know that mind is out of control. Because they think whatever I'm doing is right. Every time they say, as per mind is one, what as per mind? Everything should be as per the scriptures only. We are nobody to decide. As per my view, this is wrong. They will just conclude. But everybody thinks they are great. Just because IIT, IIM, Chartered Accountant, that doesn't bring anything to the spiritual side. First of all, you are in the bodily level. You are also body level, but we know theoretically. So once we know Krishna is the Lord, Krishna is the Supreme Lord, we are all His servant, then there is a chance that we can, but for that also we have to chant, surrender, try to request the mind, please help mind. And we have to tell Radharani that I'm chanting, so mind is going here and there. Please help me to attentively listen to the chanting. Because Prabhupada said, just chant. Somebody said, My mind is just chant and listen. If you listen carefully, the mind cannot jump. Mind is a monkey. While chanting, you will feel like seeing WhatsApp and this and that and so many things, likes and dislikes, everything you will do. While chanting, it is a big seva. Radha and Krishna are coming, sitting next to you to see how you are pronouncing, how you are listening, and what you are requesting for seva. The more and more seva comes, once Gaurang Prabhu's lecturer was listening, Radhanath Maharaj's disciple, he said in Chapati temple, the class was going on from morning 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And some people are feeling hungry. But Maharaj said, should I continue? Hari Bol. Hari Bol means you have to continue. But few people at 2 o'clock, they were feeling hungry. And somehow some prasadam sound came. So some people just got up, but they don't want to stand in the queue. Then Maharaj will think that they don't want to listen. So somebody just standing like this, as if they were just stretching their hand, but they are waiting for the queue. Then Maharaj said, should I continue? Hari Bol. And they are also standing and telling, Hari Bol. So then the lecture went till 3 o'clock. So Maharaj wanted to test whether they have got controlling power. Actually, Krishna Katha, if you listen nicely, once in Chapati temple, I went in the morning at 12 o'clock. And on Janmashtami day, we can eat only at 12 o'clock in the night. So it was 12:30, 1 o'clock. Maharaj says, should we continue? Hari Bol. It went till 3 o'clock in the morning. So Maharaj's lectures are so wonderful and fascinating, and you just, the stomach gets filled. When Parishit Maharaj, 5 days were over, immediately Sukdev Goswami is asking, hey Rajan, how do you feel? Are you very tired? Are you feeling thirsty? Or are you feeling a little hungry? Or you want to stretch? Or you want to walk? He says, oh my dear Gurudev, I am fully happy because Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamala, I am drinking so much nectar that I am filled up to the neck. And I am fresh. And I don't feel sleepy. I'm not drowsy. Please tell more and Anyor. So, because if we take rest, then he cannot finish Bhagavatam. Takshaka will come. So, Parishit said, continue. Sukdev Goswami was very, very happy. And he finished exactly 7 days and 7 nights, just 15 minutes before. So, he told, now you already liberated. Once you hear full Bhagavatam, without food, whole night contemplating. So, he's already got liberated. So, the Atma came out. Takshaka went and bitten the dead body. He didn't feel the pain. Thank you so much. Any other Yashoda Jairam Mataji? Namaskara, Ayen Samachara, Channagadira. Devanjali Majako to Prashna Ache. Sarulaka Prabhu. And the meeting Munji Rendana Vela Pandra Prabhu. Ella ready at 12 o'clock. Krishna's mercy, Prabhu. Just pray.
Okay. Waiting to hear from you.
Yeah, Prabhu. Surely, Prabhu. 100%. Bhumi Puja Pandra. Bhumadi Pundila. Illa. 2nd November, 19 November. The 5,000 cow Vangiachi. The license 5,000 cow and 150 acre land for 25 crores. Cheaper Karchik. So the Armcha Vela 6 months Mudikino, then 39 temples in 10 years. The full kitchen catering full. You can put your own people all the places. And one 5-star hotel, theme park, then organic farming, 500 acres. 500 acres for the cows, 250,000 cows in each temple, 1 crore cows needed. So it will be fully Krishna. All flute will come, no? Because everywhere the cow will be coming. So totally Sanatana will become. Banu Maharaj said to preach in every place, Salem, Tirunelveli, all the places. Hare Krishna, Debanjali Mati কিছু প্রশ্ন আছে?
হরে কৃষ্ণ প্রভু, কোনো প্রশ্ন নেই, খুব ভালো লেগেছে ক্লাস।
Very good, very good. How is your dance going on?
It's going good.
You are in
Good.
Chennai or in Calcutta?
কলকাতা।
Very good. Thank you so much. I'll send a video for all the people, but there are very, very important points. Rameswar Prabhu, you have come back or still walking? श्वेता माता जी, हरे कृष्ण, आपको फोटो भेजा उनको, अतुल प्रभु को?
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी। हाँ जी प्रभु जी, कोटि कोटि प्रणाम, दंडवत प्रणाम, मैंने भेजा है प्रभु जी।
Okay, माता जी, okay. Rameswar Prabhu, I have completed.
Yes, Prabhu, I was hearing and the discussion also. Really eagerly waiting to see that 40 temples.
Yeah,
And,
Prabhu.
so wonderful, Prabhu.
My throat
this
is
chapter
still not okay.
really, yeah, please take care, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu.
This chapter is so wonderful. How one should be very careful about one's position. And, yesterday we were discussing about the Avanti Brahmana in the 11th canto. That also shows that when we are in the higher position, we should be very, very careful about our position. Yeah.
Your words, what we talk.
So this is what Bhagavatam does us, purifies us by hearing such wonderful devotees' position and then how they deal and then what happens to them and how they rise again. So these are all purificatory process for us. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for giving so many insights into that chapter. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, the recording you can submit tomorrow, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu. When I reach home, I will do the Prabhu.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarvaloka
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Thank you, Yashoda Mataji. Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna,
Debanjali
Hare Krishna,
Mataji,
Prabhu.
Sukha Mataji.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Haribol,
We'll
Haribol,
be in
Hare
touch.
Krishna.
Vesnan Prabhu, Hare
Haribol.
Krishna. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhyavach.
Patitana
Patitanam
Bhavanam
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah.
Vaishnavebhyo.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णविंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की
Jai,
जय,
jai, jai,
गुरु महाराज की जय। गौरंगा नित्यानंदा, नित्यानंदा गौरंगा,
गौरंगा
गौरंगा नित्यानंदा।
नित्यानंदा,
जय जय श्री राधे
जय श्री
श्याम,
राधे
सबको मिले
श्याम,
वृंदावन धाम।
वृंदावन धाम,
गोवर्धन गिरिलाल
गोवर्धन
की जय
गिरिलाल
हो।
जय हो। Hare Krishna.
Please, Prabhu, I will talk to you later. I want to know, one of my friend, she's actually helping all the big business people to come out of tension and, mindfulness. Some people, they commit suicide and all. So she's specialist in that. So since you are in bank, you may be having a lot of big people. So she's extremely good. I'll send you the profile. There may be some need, some people may also need some blood pressure going up, sugar, these, that, and also some advices through Zoom. She's from Bangalore. Okay, Prabhu, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Jai.